Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. If you like puzzles or if you'd like to see me struggle to solve one and have a laugh at my expense, then you're at the right address, so please like and subscribe. Today I'm going to be trying my hand at Magic Square Dutch Flatmates by Jrosas. If you'd like to give it a go, there will be a link in the description below. If you do, please let me know how you fared and what you thought of it. Right, let's read the rules. Ordinary Sudoku and Dutch Flatmate rules. Somewhere in the grid there are two magic squares, each with 9 digits without repeats. Okay. Very short and to the point. Right. So ordinary Sudoku is we have to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. Dutch flatmate rules say that every 5 or each 5 in the grid should have either a 1 above it or a 9 below it. It could have both, but it doesn't need both. And there are two magic squares, each with 9 digits without repeat. Right, a magic square is a 3 by 3 square where the sum of all of the rows is equal to the sum of all of the columns, within the square, and is equal to the sum of the two diagonals. A quick calculations would find you that there's a 5 in the middle because that's the only one that appears in 4 combinations of 3 digits that sum up to 15. Oh, actually, I don't know if I need to tell you why it's 15. I mean, this is a sum of the digits 1 to 9, right, without repeats, so it's still 45. And since it can be divided into 3 rows, 45 divided by 15 by 3 is 15, or by 15 is 3. It's the same. I guess it's the same thing. It's a good start. In any case, so it is 15. We need a 5 in the middle. We need a 5 in the middle. And, well, here it's easy. Well, a little bit more of investigations into that would show you that you'd need the even digits in the corners or diagonally connected to the 5, and the odd digits in in the rows and columns, so orthogonally connected to the 5. You can easily see demonstrated as well, because across the 5 you need the digits of the same parity, right? And since you need 2 even and 1 odd on the sides, then this is the only configuration that would work, right? But here it's easy because of the Dutch flatmates, because now we know that we need the 1 on top of it and the 9 under it, right? Because those add up to 15, right? We need either the 1 or the 9, but here this is the only configuration that works. Anything else we need to say about that? Well, once we put the 9 here, we know that we can't put the 8 in one of those, so those have to be the 4 and 2, right? In some configuration, and then we would have 3 and 7 here, depending on how we put the 2 and the 4, right? Okay. Restart. Take a sip of tea. We do have 2 of these magic squares, by the way, so it's going to be interesting. Right. If you've watched any of the Magic Square ones, well, I think I have 2 on the channel now, both by Jrosas. Feel free to look them up. They're really nice. That's the trick to starting. So we need to figure out where the magic square is. And to do that, I'm going to look for the center 5. Right. And I'll be coloring. My favorite activity. We can't have the 5 on the sides, right? That's obvious. There is no place for a square there. Which color? Which color? Red. Right. These aren't 5, so, well, that's obvious, right? We can't have an even digit orthogonally connected to the 5. So all of these are not 5. Are not, well, they can be 5. They're not the magic 5s, so the 5s of the magic squares. Right, we can't have a diagonally attached odd digit to the 5. Ooh, Not a lot of those. Okay. Not a lot of these. Well, that didn't. Right. Well, we can't have it here anyway, because like we said, we needed the 1 above it and the 9 below it. That doesn't work. Doesn't work here either, so we can eliminate these. Well, we're getting somewhere. I don't know why I've missed those. That's an odd digit. Oh no, odd digit works. I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. Right, but these don't work because we can't have the 7. We needed a 1 and a 9. All right, okay. Right. Right. Does this work? If this is 2, 5, this would be 8. 8 plus 1 and 7, that works. 9, 7? No, 6. Yeah. 8, 1, 6, 6, 4, 9. That all seems to work, right? 6 was here, so oh no. This can't be 4 or 6, so that did we need that? Yeah, we need that. So that doesn't work. Okay. Because this is 2. This would have to be from 4, 6, right? Because we have 2, 8, and then we need 4, 6, and on this diagonal, that doesn't work. Right, so we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Do we need 1 now here? Because there are 2. Can we fit still 2? We definitely can't fit 2 here, right? That's obvious because they both need 1 and 9 on the on this column, so that doesn't work. But can we fit them here, both of them? I don't know. I don't know. Well, this one doesn't work because the 1 is not in the correct position. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Does this one work? 2, 8, 1. No, that doesn't work. Because if that's the 2, that's an 8 and 1, then we'd need a 6. That's not possible. Right. This doesn't work either because since this has to be the 1, 9, we'd need 7, 3 here. That's not possible. Okay. Oh, this is getting interesting. This is getting, well, yeah, this one doesn't work either, right? Am I mistaken? No, I'm not mistaken, because if this is the 5, then this is 1 and 9, but next to the 1 we'd need an 8, right? Because otherwise the 8 is next to the 9, and that's already 17. So this one doesn't work. Right. Now the good question is, does this one work? Otherwise we have to fit them both here. I'll take a sip of tea for that. Five, we can't have 2 here, we can't have 6 there. 1, 9. Doesn't matter though where we put the 8, right? It seems to, well, no, none of those are 2. So one of these is 8, so it has to be this one, right? So 1, 8, this is 2. This would have to be 6, and this would have to be 4. That works. 7, 3. Yeah, it does work. Okay, that's probably not a bad thing. Okay, let's see if we can if you can whittle these down to 1, that would be great. Does this one work? This one doesn't work, right? Because the 8 is next to the 9, and that's 17 already. Okay, that's great. This one doesn't work because the 2 would need an 8, and that doesn't work. All right, good, good. This is easier than I thought. This one doesn't work because the 2 would need an 8, and the 2 would be next to the 1. It's all catastrophe. What about this one? What about this one? 8, 2, 1, 9, 6, 4. That seems to work. That seems to work. Right. Well, this one doesn't work because this one, well, it's next to 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. The last one. Well, how is this one not going to work? There's nothing here. Well, there are lots of 8s and a 2. So none of those. These can't be 2. So we have one of those is 2. This can't be 2 because it requires an 8. So it has to be 2, 8. 1964. Unfortunately, that works, right? Eight, 6, 1, 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. We'd need a 7, 3. Yeah, that all works. So what do I do with this one? I think both looked like they could work. Right, but I do know one thing. Those can't both be a magic square, right? Because they both require the 1, 9. So I know for sure that this one is a magic square. Right, let's do that at least. Maybe not like that, like this. This is one of the magic squares, right? This is one of the magic squares. Right. And so we do get a digit. Well, actually, I was going to say we get more than a digit. I'm not sure, because we get a 5. Those aren't 2, so one of them is an 8. Well, yeah, of course, I get the 1 and 9, right? That's for sure. And those can't be 8, so one of these is an 8. That if this one was at 8, it would require a 2 there. That doesn't work. We do get a lot of digits. That's good, because 8 plus 1 is 9. That would be the 6 and a 4. And then I would still need a 3, 7, and I can fit these completely. Right, we get the whole magic square. Excellent. Right, what's next? This becomes a 7 just by Sudoku, which means that I need a 7 here. Yeah, that still works for this one. Right. Right, I need an 8 there. I need a 9 here. This becomes a 2. I need a 2 there. Does that work? It does. It does still. I need something to break this. I need something to break this. I need a 4 here. That's maybe still too much. What do I do next? There's a 7 here somewhere. There's a 7 here. Oh, I have to keep on thinking about the 5. It's not only here that the 5 is required to be between the 1 and 9. It's everywhere. Well, yeah, there is one thing to keep in mind, that the 5 on the 9th row has to be below the 1 on the 8th row, right? There's no other way around it, because you couldn't put a 9 under it. And the same applies here. Wherever we put the 5, it needs, in the first row, it requires the 9 in the second row. Again, because we couldn't put a 1 above it. But that doesn't solve anything for me here. That doesn't solve anything for me here. Well, it does say that none of these are 5, right? It does say that none of these are 5. This isn't 5 either. Hold on, where's 5 here? In column number 4. These aren't 5, right? No, we get that. This one isn't 5 either, because it's, well, this isn't 1, this isn't 9. This isn't 5 either, because this isn't 9. This can't be 5, because then it would require a 1 above it, and that's not possible. Right, so the only place where we could have a 5 is here, and the 9 bit under it. Is that correct? It seems like it. Yeah, that is correct. But doesn't impact this one at all. Okay. Right, no, it doesn't impact this one at all. It does give me 5 and 9, and then now I know that these are 6, 7 as well. I'm not sure if that is important. Doesn't look like it, right? Right. Okay. Well, let's continue with this. Where's 5? Where's 5 in box number 4? 3 places. I am going to pencil mark the 5 because can this one be, well, this one can't be 5. Ah, that's interesting. This one can't be 5 because can't have put a 1 above it and can't put a 9 below it. So this isn't 5. So now we know that one of these is a 5. Oh, we're still getting signs that this is the other magic square, but it could all be a distraction. Right. We can have a 1 here. Yeah, we can. So I can't eliminate anything. I don't even need the 9, right? Because this could be 5 and 1. Right. So where's 5 in box number 7 though? All of those are possible, right? Okay. Maybe not as useful then. We can still have 1 in column number 2. So all of these could be. Actually, it's not just that. We do need the 1 in column number 2, right? Because we've already used the 9. So we definitely need the 1. The same way that we needed the 9 in column number 4. But here it's not as obvious because 5 could be any of these. And then, okay, we'd need 1 in one of those. Doesn't look as convincing. It doesn't look as convincing. Right. I can pencil mark these. I have no idea why, but I can. 1, 3, 8. Well, okay, this isn't an 8. Does that help? Does that help? Now I need an 8 here. Doesn't look like it helps. It doesn't look like it helps. Is it worth pencil marking this? Well, I don't know, but this one looks interesting. What could this be? It's not 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 4, right? Isn't it? 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, it's 4. This is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I did say this 8, but it's not. But I was lucky. Well, it would have been 4 or 8, but no, it is 4. It is 4. Right, so maybe that helps. Because now this is definitely now 2, 3, and 8. Not sure how that helps. How does that help? There are only, I mean, besides the magic squares, there are only 2 rules here: ordinary Sudoku and Dutch flatmates. So probably doesn't help. Can't get rid of this 3 or 2. Right. Okay, let's look elsewhere. Let's look elsewhere. Where though? I do need an 8 here, an 8 there. This looks like the most important region box in the whole. Now, because if I could break the magic square, then I would know it's here. I say that because it doesn't look like I can do much here, does it? Besides saying that there is an 8 here. So this would have to be 8, but nothing changed. It still all works, right? I think so, yeah. Right. Still don't see anything though. Right. Well, I do need a 9 here. Still works. Does it all work though? Yeah, of course it all works. 5, 2, 9, 1. Yeah, definitely. 4, 3, 7. Yeah. Well, we just need a 3 here then. Yeah, that works, unfortunately. Right? Yeah, the 1 would be there. We can't put a 3 here. Yeah. Right. Right. Anything else? Oh, again, yeah. Again, I forgot about putting the 5. Wow. I keep on saying Dutch flatmates and then forget about it promptly. But unfortunately, they all work, don't they? Even this one. But, right. Of course, if this is the 5, then it has to be the magic square, right? But if it's not, then we can still have 5, 9. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even 5, 1 here. Right? Yeah. That's annoying. That's annoying. Okay, what about 5 in box number 8? Because it needs a 9 under it, right? So these can't be 5. One of these have to be 5. And they all work. One of these have to be 5. And they all work. Yeah, they all work. But it is interesting. If this is the magic square, then this one can't be the magic square, and it has to be one of those. I don't know how that is interesting, but it has to be one of these. If this is the magic, because this becomes a 3, right? That's what we said. This, well, I mean, it's obvious. If this is 5, this becomes a 7, 3. This one becomes a 3, and this one isn't the 5. Right. So we would need a 5 here as well. And we don't know. It can be 5, 9. It could be 5, 1, right? Not sure if that matters. Not sure if that matters. It is starting to interact with each other in a funny way, but this 5 would require a 9. That's again neither here nor there. But if this is 5, then yeah, of course, this one can't be. Right, so if this one is 5, this one has to be the magic square, right? For the simple reason that if this is 5, this becomes 1, and then we would need a 3 here, and we couldn't have 3, 7 here. So this would have to be the other 5. Does that matter? So we would need a 5 here, and with 1 above it. So it has to be there. This would have to be 5 as well. I have no idea why that would be an issue. We'd need a 5 here again. Not an issue. Not an issue. 5. 5. Do we care if it's with a 9 or a 1? Again, doesn't look like it. Okay, maybe too early to fix it, to find it. I don't know. In any case, too early for me. Anything else I can think of? Does this have at all an interaction with the 6, 7? Why would it have an interaction with the 6, 7? Doesn't. Well, it does. Interesting. If this is the 5, then this has to be the 7. I presume if this is the 6, if this is the 7, this doesn't have to be the 5 though, right? But if this is the 5, then this has to be 7. This becomes a 6. I have absolutely no idea why that would be an issue. Right, we would need a 6 here. Big deal. Oh, hold on. Oh. If this is 5, this is 1, and this one couldn't be the magic square. But if this is 5, this is the 7 here, because we only have 7, and this one can't be the magic square either. Oh, goodness. Whoa. Okay, that is first the drama reaction, and then I have to redo it because most of the time all of these far-fetched deductions are just a figment of my imagination. But that was the 7 was one of those, right? Yeah, okay, so far so good. So we need a 7 here. Okay, so maybe it's correct. There's a 5 there, requires a 1 here, so we definitely have a 3 there. And that would eliminate the magic square from here. And the 5 here would have a 7 here. And the 7 here would eliminate the magic square from there because we'd need a 3, 7, right? So this isn't 5. And if this isn't 5, that means that there's a 5 here somewhere, which means that one of these is a 9, right? Because both of these require a 9. Can't have the 1. This one would, yes, which means that this is a 9, which means that this one has to be the 5. Because remember what we said, the 5 in the, right? This is the 9, I'm not mistaken now. No, this is definitely the 9, which means that this is a 5. Because the 5, otherwise we couldn't put a 5 anywhere else in row number 1. We talked about that, right? So this is 5. Excellent. Well, yeah, I didn't even need to do this because we have 5 and we know that there's a 5 here. In any case, it works. 5 and 9. Okay. Right. So now this isn't, well, right, let's pencil mark. We do need a 1 here. We do need a 4 as well. This is not necessarily the 4. We need the 4 and we need a 6, 7. This isn't 6 and this isn't 7, right? 1, 4, 6, 7 looks okay. So this isn't 1 anymore. Does all of that matter though? I still don't know which is which, right? But no, I still don't know which is which. All I knew is that this wasn't a 5, but that has no implication on which one is the... It has no implication on which one is the magic square, right? It doesn't look like it does yet. Right? What did I find any new digits? I don't think so. I found digits here, but did I even? I'm confused. I found the 5 and the 9, but that doesn't matter, right? 5 can still be 1 and 9. Yeah, I think all of that still works. Didn't resolve that though. Unless I'm missing something, but I don't think so. I don't think so. One sec. Yeah. Okay. Well, now I know that there's a 9 here, don't I? Yeah. What does that mean? I do need a 5 in one of these. But I could have a 1 here, right? I can't have 5 there because one of these is a 5, right? Well, that's obvious. Oh, this can't be 9. Oh, this can't be 9. Ah, this can't be 9 because if this is 5, this is 1, 9. And if this is 5, this is 1, 9. So this is definitely the 9 here. But does that mean that this is the 5? I'm not sure because I can still have 1, right? I can still have 1. Well, of course, not in the middle, but above the 5, I can still have 1. So does that matter? Not sure. Well, now I know that this isn't 9, but this isn't 9. Does it matter? Actually, I know as well that one of these is 1, right? I know that one of these is 1. For the same reason we couldn't put... Oh no, this could be 1 as well. Of course, this could be 1. Um, Almost broke the puzzle, probably. Huh. Feels like I'm getting somewhere, but not really. I mean, I did get a 5 and a 9, but this one still doesn't have an implication, right? Where did I say that 5 was here? Oh, any place, right? All I know is this is definitely 5 or 9, right? It can't be something else because then it doesn't work. Does that have any impact on column number 5? No, I already know that 4 is here. That's nothing new. I knew that 1 is there. That's nothing new either. So what am I still missing? Because this is definitely 5 or 9. Do I pencil mark? I don't think it's gonna matter though, because I can put everything in here, right? Then from 3, 8, 6. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, hold on. There's a 7 here. Why am I like that? There's a 7 here. So this becomes a 7. This becomes a 6. And that's a 7. Is that really a 4? Yeah, it's not 1 or 6, so it's definitely a 4. That's not 4. Right. That helps. Maybe. Maybe. Um, Actually, I'm not sure if that helps. I have a 7 here. Again, it can go in lots of places. Whoa. Is there another singlet here? It's not 1, it's not 2. But it could be 3 or 4. Or 8, actually. It's not then. It's not. Okay. Right, so this is from 3, 8, right? This is from 5, 9, 3, 8 as well. Maybe I can just pencil mark that. 5. Oh, right. I put the 9. I miss pencil mark the 9. Okay, doesn't matter. 3, 8. Maybe not. This is probably less obvious now where the 5 is. But it's done. Okay. But there are still two squares, two squares. Yeah, I mean, yes, 2 boxes where 5 is missing. At least it's not pencil marked. It's missing in multiple places still. But so what did I say here? All of those could be 5, right? Am I mistaken? All of these could be 5. It looks like it, doesn't it? It looks like it. Right. Though there was the issue that 1 had to be above 5, right? But I don't see where that is an issue. Because where could we still have 5 here? Here? Well, yeah. So either we have 1 here or it's one of those. Well, this one can't be 5, of course. So one of these is 1. Does it matter? One of these is 1. Of course, if I knew that it's definitely here, then that would resolve this one, of course. But I don't. So what happens if this is 1 and this is 5? Because this is the odd one out, right? If this is 1 and this is 5. Not much, I think. This could still be 5, 1, 9, right? This would be 5. This would be 9. This would be from 3, 8. This is 1, 6, not just 1. 1, 6. Does that matter? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's really funny because I do need a 7 here as well and a 7 there. This is all not really neither here nor there, I think, but the fact that it works on both is funny. 2. No, I have no idea. Then we still needed the 8 here, and does that make any difference? 8, 2, 1, 9. That would be 4. That would be 6. No, it all doesn't look like it makes a difference. 1 here would make this one a 6. And where did I say the 6 was? Probably doesn't matter. But I think the 6 was there, right? Because this was 8, 1, 6. So one of these would have to be 6, one of these 2. Which doesn't seem to be a problem. Okay. Okay. Funny that this hasn't resolved itself. What? I'm blind. No offense to blind people. I mean, they would have seen it probably quicker than me. I put the 9 here and I completely forgot that there's an implication to the magic square. Kept on looking here whether that works. Well, this one doesn't work anymore, right? Ta-da! So, right. So 1, 9, 1, 9. This becomes a 6. This becomes a 1. This becomes a 6. That's a 9. This is not a 3 and 8 anymore. 5, 9. This becomes a 9. So this isn't a 5 anymore. Right? Yeah, this isn't a 5. So now we need a 5 here somewhere. Yeah, but it could be this. No, it can't be this one anymore. We need a 5. One of those is a 5. Right, so this isn't 5. This is 5, though that doesn't help me. But okay, this is a 5. This can't be a 5 because it would require a 1 above it. Right, so that's a 5. Well, this isn't a 5 because there's a 5 here, but all right. That's 1. Okay. Right, I can continue here now because what did we say? This had to be an 8. That's the only place where we can have an 8. This becomes a 2. That's not a 2 anymore. Neither is this one a 5. Oh, 6, 4, and that's a 7, 3. Or a 3, 7. Right, what am I still missing in row number 8? I'm missing a 2 and an 8. Okay. So though this one should be available, and it's a 6, all right? Which means that that's a 6, and this one becomes a 6 as well, right? We got all the 6s. I do have a 2, 3, 8 triplet here, which hopefully will not cause a problem, and that's a 1. Right, let's do this just for can barely see it, but all right. Right, and here I'm missing a 3 and a 4, right? Both still available, apparently. Right. Box number 4 requires a 3, a 4, and an 8. This one isn't an 8 though. And this would have to be from 1, 3, or 4. What am I? Oh, this is definitely. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm doing. That's should be obvious by now. Right, so what about the 5s now? Oh, this one can't be 5 anymore because it has a 9 above it and it can't, it can't have another 9, so this isn't 5. This has to be 5, which gives me a 9 here. And does that have an impact here? Well, it does because this isn't 5, so this has to be 5, this has to be 7. 7, but actually with the 5, I don't know if I need the 1 or not. Interesting. Okay. Right, but this has to be 1 because we can't put 1 there. This is from 3, 8, so it's 3, 8, 3, 4, 4, 1, and what am I missing here? A 2 and a 4, right? So 4, 2, so of course that's the 1. That's not a 9. What is that? That's a 2. And oh, that resolves a bit of these, right? Yes, this becomes a 3, this becomes an 8, this becomes a 2, this becomes a 8, 3, yes. Okay, and the last 2 are a 4 and a 3, right? Okay, moment of truth. Yay! Wow, that's a really nice one. That's a really nice one. I think I made it more difficult than it should, right? By not seeing the 9. I have no idea. I'm sure I will hear about how long I actually ignored the 9 here completely while trying to actually figure out where the magic square is. But I think 38 minutes is not too bad. It's really nice. Yeah, I can do with more magic squares. I don't know about you. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. If you did, please like and subscribe, maybe share. See you next time. Bye bye.